at Expansion Network, accelerating, the consciousness of humanity. And we are at the Conscious Life Expo. We're in Los Angeles right now, and we are extremely blessed with the presence of Simone Kvalhein, here with us, who is an epigenetics. It's not only an expert, she's a guru in epigenetics. So thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here with you at Conscious Life and being able to share some information.
One of the things I like the most when I talk with Simone is that she really knows what longevity and rejuvenation are about. And obviously, I think that people after a certain age, they start being concerned about aging and longevity. Would you agree with this statement?
Absolutely. Most people don't understand that when we reach the age of 25, that's when things get started to switch on and switch off, and we start to age. But aging is not a natural thing. Our bodies...
It's not?
No, this amazing thing that we have that we call a body is a unique piece of architecture that is designed by the universe, by God, whatever you believe in, to live on. It's only what we do to ourselves internally and externally, the environment that we're in, that causes our cells at a deep cellular level to age.
So why would you say that then, what happens internally, because you're an epigenetics expert,
Correct.
Right? So what happens to our cells so that we see ourselves as we age with a different aspect outside?
Well, what happens at a deep cellular level is that we start to take in garbage, we manufacture our own garbage, and it's cellular trash that actually causes the cells to die, which is apoptosis. So what we really need to look at is how we can keep those cells young and how we can create stem cells, because that's the big buzzword, how we can regenerate and activate younger stem cells to keep us young.
Okay, so from an epigenetics, could you explain the epigenetics concept so people understand it a little bit better?
Absolutely. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and that is that your DNA is not your destiny. Would you know that only 10% of what you inherit has any effect on you? All the rest is the environment that we create externally and internally. So that's why we know you can have a set of twins that have the identical genetic code. One lives on the East Coast, one lives on the West Coast. The one on the West Coast surfs, eats organic food, comes to conscious life. The one on the East Coast drinks alcohol, smokes, eats hamburgers, hot dogs, and the story goes on. And when they come together, they're two very different people. And so that is what epigenetics is. And like a lot of you out there, I was concerned because my mother had diabetes, my father had cardiovascular disease, and I thought I was predestined to have those symptoms and those ailments. And like a lot of people, I'm delighted to know that I only inherit 10%. I can actually change my destiny by virtue of what I eat, how I sleep, and what I do to my stem cells.
How did Simone start to be concerned about this?
Very good question. Like a lot of women and men out there, I've been flying the jet airplane of life. I've had my friends on board, my family on board, my business is on board, and everybody had oxygen except me. And then one day, my oxygen ran out, and I started to not be able to drive because I was very aware that I was experiencing brain fog. I was 47 pounds heavier than I am, and I was going to bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and my husband just said to me one day, he said, "Simone, this is not working for you. What happens if you die?" So I went to see a functional doctor, and that's when it really got me excited about epigenetics and realizing that we don't have a healthcare crisis in this country. We have a situation where the healthcare system is broken, and now in 2020, it's time for us to take responsibility for self-care. And that is where epigenetics comes into it.
Beautiful. Okay, so how did you, noticing that and realizing that in your own life, what action did you take?
Well, first of all, I started to research and got excited about epigenetics. I went to a functional doctor a year ago, and through technology, they were able to determine my biological age. And this was most shocking for me, because a year ago they said I had the biological age of someone who was 67. In May, I had the biological age of someone who was 65. In October, I had the biological age of someone who was 62. And 3 weeks ago, they determined that I had the biological age of someone who was 59. And I'm 62. So I'm able to say that I am a good example of how you can, through technology, reverse the aging process. And you know, we're here at Conscious Life, and a lot of the things that we see here, 20 years ago, people would have said that's woo-woo. But let me tell you, so was chiropractic. And yet chiropractic now is covered by medical insurance. And so what I share is the fact that Eastern philosophy, Eastern modalities in 2020 are now validated by science and technology, 21st century cutting technology, and it comes together so that you and I can have a conversation where all of you can understand that you can change your destiny through epigenetics.
Wonderful. When you talk about technology, obviously it's a very broad term, right? Is this specific technology respectful, or how does this technology guarantee that your health is respected?
Very good question. And I know we haven't said what technology I'm excited about. I'm very excited about a company called LifeWave that has the first and only patented technology that activates your own stem cells. And it's a patch. Don't underestimate the value or the potential of something as innocuous as a patch, because what is in here are nanocrystals that are bioengineered to send a frequency. And you know, we talked about yesterday about Tesla, we talked about Einstein, who have validated that we are packets of energy. And so why is it that we don't go to energy medicine for our first port of call when it's energy related? We go to pharmaceuticals. So this technology enables us to use our own body as a light source to then, at an epigenetic level, change the environment within our body so that the body can heal. Because you know, doctors are phenomenal. I'm not against doctors. However, they're good at patching us up, cutting us up, setting bones, but they're not able to heal us. Only we can heal ourselves. And I believe that it's God or the universe never gives us something that we can't handle. And so whatever we get, we can handle and we can heal. Given the right signals, the right food, the right technology, again, we can affect our destiny.
How does the human body react to those patches?
Very simply this, we give off light. And you know, if you watch those people that wear those nighttime goggles, you can actually see the human light, that's what they see. So we give off light, the light then hits the patch, which has these crystals, and then that crystal emits a frequency back into the body. So there's nothing transdermal. It's everything to do with what the body does.
Okay. When let's say these patches, you put them on your skin, right?
Correct.
Those crystals start interacting with your skin and then with your bloodstream, I guess.
Well, they send a signal.
Okay.
That, for instance, this one that stimulates the stem cells activates copper peptide.
Okay.
And copper peptide is an amazing peptide because it signals to the skin to release cells that can become stem cells. And you know, we start off as a bunch of stem cells. You know, when you've got the mother's ovum and the dad's sperm, within 4 to 5 days, you're a bunch of stem cells that then, over time, over 5 weeks, differentiate and become skin cells, heart cells, lung cells, and within a short period of time, you have a fetus. So as we grow older, so do our stem cells. And so when you have your own stem cells reactivated, normally by just having an injection, those are your old stem cells. This patch activates and elevates and regenerates your stem cells so that they are younger stem cells and recode and develop and produce new stem cells.
Why did you choose this one and not another of the patches that the LifeWave technology provides?
Well, good question, because you know we have a lot of patches. The reason why I like this one is because my father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia 15 months ago. You know, I'll share some details. He was unable to speak English anymore, was having to wear diapers. His urine was the color of traffic light green. And so we had all manner of testing done, and they said, you know what, he needs to go to a psychiatric hospital. And there is no protocol in the world that is available to actually activate stem cells in your brain. Because we're led to believe that once you have Alzheimer's and dementia, you can no longer activate stem cells in the brain. And so when I read about this, what it does, I thought, you know what, let me see if it works on the brain. So I've had anecdotal evidence that it does, because let me tell you, a year later, he walks, talks, chews gum, learning to type, and doesn't need oxygen. He's just a phenomenal man, and he can talk to you about stem cell technology. So I know that now, having had that anecdotal evidence with the scientific papers that we now have that shows that we can reverse the effects of cognitive decline and increase brain health.
What's the easiest way for people to reach out to you, Simone?
Easiest way is to go to LifeWave, so that's LIFEWAVE x39.com, then / the word RECODE, RECODE. So that stands for Reversing Cognitive Decline.
Wonderful.
Or they can look me up on LinkedIn, Simone Kvalhein, or on Facebook.
Wonderful. Hey Simone, it's been a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for contributing so much to let the audience of Expansion Network know about epigenetics. It's been a pleasure to have you. And again, we keep on accelerating the consciousness of humanity. And we do it here and today. This is Angel Rebo, the CEO confidant of Expansion Network from Los Angeles. Actually, we are the Conscious Life Expo here in Los Angeles. Thank you very much for being here with us. I hope that you have enjoyed our conversation with Simone as much as we have, and hope to see you soon.